So our guest speaker, you guys, has been with Beachbody for 4 years. And when I reached out to a bunch of different coaches in the network towards the top of the year, and I said, this is what I think my team needs to hear. And she was right into my inbox immediately. Like, I can speak to limiting beliefs and mindset. That is my jam. And that's what I want to talk to your team about. And I was like, yes, please, like, absolutely sign me up. She's a Montessori middle school teacher, lives in the Bay Area with her girlfriend and two daughters. And she has a side hustle to her coaching side hustle, which is being a one-on-one coach for people in mindset and limiting beliefs and busting through that. So that is her expertise. That's exactly what she's going to talk with us tonight about. So pens out, take all the notes. At the end, if you have time, we can open it up for questions. So if you guys are starting to have your wheels turning as she's speaking, definitely write those down so that we can circle back and ask those. But Liesbeth, I'm going to mute and let you take it away, my friend.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. It's fun to meet other coaches on other teams. We can sometimes you get in the spin with all your same people. So it's fun to branch out. So very excited about this. I would say that when I first started, I was that mom who had lost herself in having kids and marriage, and I was a surrogate too. So during that surrogacy pregnancy, I got very depressed and anxious and was in a very different state of mind. And then my marriage fell apart at the same time. So 2 weeks postpartum, it's officially over. I feel broken from the C-section that I had to have, almost dying because they overdosed me with morphine, and my marriage is over. And I was one of that people that was like, oh, well, I just planned my life and then that happens. So I was totally lost. And that is kind of what led me into when you're at the bottom and you have nowhere else to go, you're going to try anything. So I took this self-compassion class and learned about self-compassion to start. And then from there, it just grew. And as I realized the things that I hadn't even known about myself and about my thoughts and what I was doing to myself with those thoughts. And so limiting beliefs is one of my favorite things to talk about. What is it? A limiting belief basically is any belief that you hold, and a lot of times it's subconsciously, that holds you back from reaching your goals. It's disempowering. It lowers your emotional vibrancy. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but it keeps you stuck in life. And the more you start digging into limiting beliefs, the more you're going to see them in the people that you're talking to and inviting to join. And you're going to be like, oh, well, I know why you're not joining me. How can I get you to realize? So everything comes down to your self-identity. And what we don't think about is that, where do these beliefs come from? A lot of times we pick up beliefs from our parents by the way that they talk and act. And if we don't take a moment to really reflect on that, then that's where we have a subconscious belief that affects our behavior, but we're not aware of it. This happens a lot with money. I know for me, that was the case. And so what you want to do is, as you come across these beliefs, as you come across things that come up, you say, okay, where did that come from? Where might that come from? And is it serving me? Because if it's not serving you, that's where you want to go into clearing the limiting belief. I would say, so one of the things that kind of was handed to me from my parents is that it felt like almost part of a drama triangle. So they would have, my dad would nitpick my mom would get upset and run away. I'd have to go to my mom and calm her down. And so I find that I now also, when anyone ever tells me their problems, I'm immediately problem solving and oh, I can save you. I can rescue you. Right. And no, we cannot do that. So I have to recognize myself wanting to jump into that and wanting to fix things, especially with my challengers, oh, if I could just get them to show up, and we almost do too much, which isn't serving them. So that's one that I look at and try to address. Often our senses are deceiving us. Sorry. If you've heard of confirmation bias. If you hold a belief that you are not a morning person, then you are going to see proof of that. So everything that happens, when you, I don't know, keep yourself up late at night, that is your subconscious making it so that you're not a morning person. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's been stories of people who were about to start a workout program, or, like had this date set, right? This is the start of this next big thing. And they like break an arm or a leg. And you're like, wow, is that like connect? Like, I'm starting to think more and more that's connected. Like, our subconscious is powerful. The universe is powerful. The universe is listening to us. Universe, God, whoever it is for you. And it's crazy, some of these connections. And so there's power here. All right, why worry about them? The biggest reason, self-sabotage. Biggest reason. We will go through whatever we can to prove what our beliefs are true. So, but the lucky thing is that you can change that. Like, you don't have to stay stuck in those same beliefs. So some common limiting beliefs, almost all that I know that I've heard, lead back to I'm not enough. Like, behind it, if you keep digging, but why, I'm not enough. I know one that I dealt with when I was in that state of depression, anxiety, was that no one likes me. I'm awkward. No one wants to be around me. I don't, that's impossible. That's a limiting belief. Having tunnel vision, where you really just suddenly don't see anything around. Oh, it's not going to work anyway. That's a sign of a limiting belief when you already decided it's not going to work. I think in coaching, I just can't close the deal. Oh my God. Early days in coaching, you can't even believe how many times I said that. I'm just not capable of closing the deal. I'm just not saying the right things, right? I'm just not meant for this job. Oh my God, you guys, I can't even tell you how long I wasted deciding whether I should be a coach or not. Like, so much energy poured into, like, every single interaction was like proof whether I was a good coach or not. And that is exhausting. You cannot stay there. As soon as I like made the decision that, like, wait a minute, I really like these workouts, love these shakes, I feel freaking amazing. So am I going to stop this? No. Okay, so I have a hard month and I can't put as much towards coaching. Am I going to quit my workouts and my shakes? No. Okay, so I'm kind of in it. I'm just in it. So I don't need to take time deciding whether I'm going to be a coach or not. Okay, great. Excellent. Let's move forward. Like, once I made that decision, I had so much more energy to give towards coaching because I wasn't deciding whether I should be a coach or not. And then I'm not outgoing enough to be successful. I've heard that one a lot. But luckily there's been lots of top coaches who are like, I'm an introvert. And then I'm not special, or I'm not unique, or I don't have something special to offer. And that, of course, is a limiting belief, because you do. You have people who need you to reach out to them, because your coach is not going to reach them, is not going to vibe with them. It's you. Okay, so how do we discover these little limiting beliefs? Your excuses. Check your excuses. Probably behind your excuses is a limiting belief. Areas of your life where you want to avoid the change, or you catch yourself avoiding, like, I don't need to do that right now. So in avoidance. Details that upset you, whether it's in your health or your relationship or your spiritual life or your professional life. If you're getting angry or frustrated about something, especially in someone else, it's probably from a limiting belief in yourself. I'll give you an example of this. So I work at a private school in a very well-off area. Many of my students are very, very rich. And we do real work. It's a Montessori school. So they have to clean toilets. They have to sweep. And I remember I got like really frustrated. I get really frustrated with their actions when I think that it means that they're like entitled and privileged. And I got really frustrated. And I was talking with this coach. This is when I was first like learning about limiting beliefs and diving in. I did a coaching program for like a year. And she asked questions that led to me crying in my answer, which is like a sure sign, like, oh, that hit there. And it was basically that I had this belief that if you have money, you will be entitled and selfish and privileged. And so I was doing whatever I could to not be rich. consciously I was like, I'm trying to make money. Like I could make money here. I can make money here. Every time money came in my bank account, somehow there was something that took it right out. And that's real. Like as soon as I started dealing with this limiting belief and realizing, no, I know lots of generous people who use their money for good. The more money I make, the more generous I can be. And the more generous I can be, the more money I can make. I say that every day to myself now. And now the money stays in my bank account. Like it's crazy. It was a mental thing, and it made a difference in my bank account. And if that's your thing, because I know a lot of people have money issues, Jen Sincero has a book, You Are a Badass with Money. So good. That book is so good if you want to deal with your money limiting beliefs. But I often, almost all my people would say, no, I can't afford it. And then I was on these calls where they were like, well, check out what they're telling you, because that probably relates to something you're believing. So then I had to work on, wait a minute, well, how do I think this is too expensive? And I really thought about what you get. I'm like, you get all of these workouts. You get this support system that is incredible. You get these shakes that seriously keep you energized for the whole day. You barely ever get sick, and you just feel good. Because I know in the beginning, especially when it wasn't a habit, I would forget. And I'd get to the afternoon and I'd be like, why am I so tired today? Forgot my shake this morning, right? So once I realized I value this so much, I stopped getting that excuse as much. I mean, of course, you're still going to get it, but it wasn't like coming at me from every single angle until I dealt with my own belief about what this was worth. Let's see. Okay, so when you get frustrated, that's one to look into it. And then if you really want to get woo-woo, you can do this thing called this wise one meditation, where you go into a meditative state and you picture whoever you think is like a wise person to you. So it could be someone you knew in life, or it could be like this made up entity, and you meet them and you talk to them and you ask them about who your limiting beliefs are and stuff like that. So another way. But once you discover them, now what do you do? So I like to do a thing called a clearing with people. It's a visualization technique where you get them into a quiet place where they can close their eyes, and you start with slow breathing, and then you guide them through a visualization, whether it's like they're totally relaxed, they're in a place where they feel so comfortable, and then you have them, like before you start, they tell you where they felt it. A lot of people feel it in their chest, and it's like a hardness. So you say you're so relaxed, but you still have this hardness in your chest and you want to get rid of it. And so then one of them is like blowing up a balloon, another one is stepping, if they're by water, they can step in water and it could flow out. But with the breath, they're taking that belief, it's breaking apart and it's coming out of the body, and you're like visually seeing it leave you. And you have them keep visualizing it until it's all the way gone. And then you take in some deep breaths, and then you have like colors associated with it, and a new belief comes in. So like you actually physically get rid of the belief from your body visually. And there are so many studies that are showing the impact of visualization. Like one of my favorite ones that I heard was there was two groups, and one group did the exercise program in their head every day, physically, not physically, like in their head, visualizing it. And the other group did the workout. And what surprised everyone is, of course, I mean, not what wasn't surprising is that the group that actually did the workout, they had better results, right? But there were results in the group that just did the visualization. Like those muscles that they were visualizing using grew a little. So never underestimate the power of visualization. Okay, so that one is the one where you have to be led. Now, I have a podcast, and one of my podcast episodes actually has like a more generic version of that. So when I do it one-on-one, I find out where is your place, what is your belief, and I actually speak to that. But on the podcast, I do it for the I'm not enough belief. So you can kind of follow along with that if you want to try it out. Okay, here's some other things. There's this one thing called a 3-step process. So when you recognize that you're going into that place where you're either responding to that belief, or like it's a thought that comes to you often, you can say, there it is. That's not me. That's a program. So the first step is to like recognize it and name it. So if it's a feeling, if it's anxiety, you can say that's anxiety, or that's my belief about blank, right? So you name it. Then you think about where you feel it in your body. So maybe you feel it in your chest, and you think about what level it is for you right now. So maybe it's like a 9. It's a 9, it's in your chest. The second step is to feel it. So you actually allow yourself to sit in this feeling, this emotion, whatever it is for you, feel it. And then the third step is to release it. And so you say, thank you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And the reason you do that is because it's all here to protect you. Like it was developed as a protection from who knows when, right? But what you're recognizing is it's actually not serving you anymore. So you're saying, okay, I know you were here to take care of me, but I don't need you. I'm going to let you go. So it's like recognize a name, feel it, and then release it. And sometimes you can, like, if you are someone who gets hit by anxiety a lot, you can actually like shorten it and just kind of be like, oh, hey, anxiety, I know you. Hey, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You can go. Right? You can like be friends with your anxiety and be like, I'm good. You can leave. That will take practice, of course. But so the 3-step process. And then if you don't have time to go through the whole 3-step process, you can always say cancel, cancel. When that thought comes in, like, maybe I'm not a good coach. Cancel, cancel. Yeah, I didn't even finish the thought. I'm just not good at cancel, cancel. Like, don't let it come. You don't have to allow it. Thoughts are not truth. They come and they go. So you can be like, no, no, no. And just know that like everybody, Melanie Mitro, all those top courses, they all have these thoughts that come to them. It's just about whether you're going to take them in and let them control your life. All right. So I know I suggested You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, the You Are a Badass with Money, but if you have not read You Are a Badass, the regular one, or listen to it is better because Jen actually speaks it. That book, for sure. Like all about the universe, limiting beliefs, taking control of your life, manifesting what you want for your life. It's amazing. I want to know your questions now. And pull up the chat. Okay, the name of my podcast is This Impossible Life Podcast. And I think I might have, let me see if I have the link to it here. I've got that like TikTok song stuck in my head. Now you all have stuck in your head. I'm just going to pull it up here. Anybody can unmute. You can definitely ask a question. There we go. It's a super easy one. I don't know why I just don't have it memorized. There you go. And I talk about all things mindset in there. So if you're dealing with something like time management or self-compassion or whatever it is, there's probably an episode on it. Did you know that it was Beachbody Coaching that got me to start a podcast? Because we have our team calls on Sunday night, and Carrie Steelman, she's my coach, and she every once in a while likes to like make it different. So that night she was like, all right, I know whatever you guys have that's been like eating at you, like you should, like it visits you, like you, whatever that is, you're gonna commit to it today. And she's like, it doesn't have to do with coaching. And I was like, I knew it. It was like podcast. And so she like adult dared us to like take a step on that dream that we had been ignoring. And so by the next 2 weeks, I had to have my first podcast episode uploaded and up for people to listen. And that was like the push I needed to like do it. So that's why I love coaching. Because like it pushes us in every area of our life to be better humans.
I love all that. Does anybody have questions? Totally agree. There are so many things that I wouldn't be knowledgeable in if it wasn't for coaching. Can you drop your Instagram handle in there, Liesbeth, for us?
Yeah.
And if nobody has questions, I don't know. I'm gonna like scan the room right now. What do you guys think if she led us through one of your clearings? Would you be open to doing that for us? Like if we just all kind of got still and quiet, closed our eyes, and you like did your magic?
For sure. That's what I did on Christina's call.
We would love that. I mean, I would love that. And I feel like I'm seeing some responses. Yes.
All right, awesome. So I'll do it more generically, right? Because I don't know, and we'll probably do it with the belief of like I'm not enough. Um, I know that it can feel awkward and strange, so feel free to turn off your video, and then just make sure you're somewhere you can close your eyes. So, which I don't think anyone's driving, so pretty good. All right, so go ahead and take a deep breath in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. And I want you to picture yourself on a beach, and you're standing in the sand, and you feel the warm sun on you, and you can feel a warm breeze. And you have the beach to yourself, no one else is around. And you just feel so relaxed, so at ease. You don't have to worry about anything here. It's almost like time doesn't exist. You watch the waves as they lap in on the shore, and you can hear the birds. And you just are breathing in this beauty and this relaxation and reveling in it. And as you stand there, you realize that even though you're so relaxed, there's still this hardness in your chest. There's this belief that you're just not quite enough, that you don't have what it takes. And you don't want that anymore. You're done being held back by that. And you walk down to the water, and your feet feel the cool waves wash over them. And you look up at the sky and you take a deep breath in. And you breathe out. And your intention is that you are going to get rid of this belief that you're not enough, because you know that you are. Just as you are totally enough. And as you breathe in again, you feel a loosening in your chest. This blackness starts to break up a little bit. And as you breathe out, the pieces move downward. So you breathe in again and break it up even more. And every time you breathe out a thought that you're not enough. You breathe out anything related to that. And as these thoughts leave your body, those black pieces make their way down your body. And you take another deep breath in. You breathe out the thought that you aren't enough. And you see from your toes a blackness leaving your feet. And as the wave pulls back, the blackness goes with it. And you take another deep breath in. And with every deep breath out, more blackness leaves your feet. It's making its way down through your whole body. Thoughts that you don't have enough concentration, enough focus, enough skills, that you're not brave enough. All of these thoughts leave. All these doubts about yourself and your capabilities and what you're meant for. Keep breathing in and breathing them out. Little by little, every little piece of black makes its way down. You can see the stream flowing out from your feet, out into the ocean. And the more you breathe, the lighter you feel. You're starting to feel this deep sense of knowing in your gut that your authentic self is everything you've ever needed to be. And with every breath out, every single doubt leaves you. These doubts that have been holding you back for far too long. And you breathe out and you can see the blackness down to your calves now. It is cleared from your chest. And you breathe in and you breathe out and it leaves your calves, goes to your feet. And you take another deep breath in and out. And the last of it leaves your feet and flows away. And you take another deep breath in and out to catch any last pieces. And you watch as the black water flows away from you. And you keep watching the stream of black as it gets further and further and further away until you can't see it anymore. And you open your arms up and out towards the sky. And you breathe in confidence. You breathe in love and self-compassion. You breathe in the knowledge that what you have to say is what someone else needs to hear. And that what has been in your life, if you speak your story, if you share your story, it will impact so many people. And you step away from the water back onto the sand and you walk up the shore. And now you feel completely relaxed. You feel so at ease. You feel so ready to step back into your life and do all the things. And you know that if that doubt starts to creep back in, you can come back here and you can let it flow out of you because you don't have room for that anymore. So take another deep breath in and out and in and out and in and out. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. I hope that helped.
Thank you so much. Like, who feels a little bit lighter right now? You and I just, yes.
I love you.
I need you to I just need to put you in my pocket next to my bed at night so that you could just like do that while
You listen to the podcast episode.
It'll be on loop. It'll be on loop for sure. I love that. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Guys, any questions on limiting beliefs, on mindset, on, specifically with coaching, if there's anything you're struggling with specifically, how she's navigated that or helped other people navigate that, do not be shy.
I don't have a question. I'm just soaking it all in. I mean, you took me to my happy place, and just like Nicolette, the tears were starting as you were having us breathe, because there are so many.
Yeah.
So
That's
I've
when you
got
know
Anchor
you like
on my phone, so you're being added to that. So thank you.
when those tears come, that's when you know you got to the real stuff. And that's so exciting. Like, so exciting. And the thing is, like, it doesn't go away. Like, they're going to come back and but what I notice is that I recognize it quicker and I'm able to drop it quicker. So like I used to, at the end of every month, be a disaster. And Carrie had to like call me and be like, I would get a call from her at the end of every month. How you doing? Because I would like suddenly want to quit coaching. Like what kind of coach am I? I can't even hit a success club. And it was all related. And it wasn't until I let go of that and was like, I am completely committed and fully unattached. I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to love on all the people. But I don't know where that's going to lead me. Whether it gets me a success club, whether it gets me a rank advancement, whether it gets me a new best friend, whether I don't find out what it got me until years down the line when someone comes and tells me how I changed their life. Though that once I released it, that's when I started consistently hitting success club. And it wasn't before that. And the universe kept testing me because I'd think I was over it. And then there'd be a month where I didn't get Success Club and I'd be a disaster and be like, I didn't learn the lesson.
I think that's so powerful. I was chatting with another coach today just about that like things resurface, right? And it's how you pull back the layers on the new outfit it's wearing this week to show up as, right? And so thank you so much for just reminding us that that's normal. I think sometimes we get in this arena, especially with coaching, and we start to do the heart work. We start to do the healing work because it's just a natural part of our checklist, you guys. We're taking care of ourselves. So for maybe the first time in your life when you're taking care of yourself, all of a sudden these things come to the surface, and we think, oh, like, I must be doing it wrong. She's not. No, we all are. And it's who's willing to keep peeling those layers back and actually do the healing heart work along with the hard work of coaching. So thank you for normalizing it for us.
And one thing you can ask each other is, ooh, what lesson are you supposed to learn here? Because that is what Carrie, when she started asking me that was a game changer. Because then I would look at it a different way. Ooh, what lesson am I learning here? Right? Like, so anything bad, you're like, well, what lesson am I learning? Kind of flips it so it doesn't feel so hard.
So good.